We're only 11 days away from our historic match in Fiji, in Lautoka at Churchill Park, which is extremely exciting. Our players are very excited to be heading over for the first ever trial game on Fijian soil. But today I'm pleased to announce a partnership that we're extremely proud of and to help us deliver genuine outcomes when we do head over to Fiji in the community. Through the week leading up to our game, we'll be supporting the Fijian Book Drive as our trial match community partner. Our players and staff will be visiting schools and local communities through the week, running clinics and passing on their playing and training skills to the local rugby league community. As part of these visits, we'll also help to deliver much needed school books and resources to those who need it most. Fiona and her team will also travel with Tui back to his home village in Tuavani. Did I get that right, Tui? Where they'll deliver books on the island when we get there. We can sometimes here in Australia and in developed countries take for granted the basics in education, like having school books and other resources. So we're extremely pleased and proud to be able to support a great cause like the Fiji Book Drive, knowing it will have a great impact on the lives of so many young Fijian kids and their families for many years to come. So thank you for being here today. I'd like to now invite Fiona up to say a couple of words about the initiative and the partnership. Thanks, Fiona.
In the words of Fijians, I'd like to say Vinaka Vakalevu Justin. This means thank you very much, and Bula Vinaka, which means a warm hello. I have to admit I'm not an expert on rugby, but what I do know about rugby is that it is a game of passion with the values of respect and friendship. And respect, friendship and passion for the work they do has been shown to us by Melbourne Storm, so Vinaka. It seems to me that a partnership between Melbourne Storm and Fiji Book Drive is a natural marriage. We deal with grassroots issues, grassroots people, and we go to really remote communities such as the island of Taveuni, where Tui is from. This partnership with Melbourne Storm will give us greater exposure and to help us expand and deepen the impact of our work. One thing we're very fond of saying here at Fiji Book Drive is readers are leaders, and it's something we stand by and we live by. Before I wrap this up, there's one final story I'd like to share about how remote the communities are that we service. So Tui here will know some of the communities are incredibly remote and accessible only by foot, by horse or by boat. So one community that we helped was in the mainland of Viti Levu, the main island of Fiji, and to get to that community, one had to cross a river 26 times by foot or by horse. I didn't really fancy crossing the river 26 times by foot, so I hopped on the horse bareback and off my team and I went to this village. This village is probably the most remote village in the mainland, and they now have an incredible library thanks to all our donors and supporters who allowed us to service that particular school. Another way that we carry books, sometimes we're in a punt, which is a very small boat, and we're carrying books propped up on a life jacket in the gunnel of the boat. Meanwhile, we're getting splashed wet by waves, delivering books. So I hope these two short stories illustrate our commitment and passion for literacy. Once again, we're delighted to be partnering with Melbourne Storm. Vinaka Vakalevu.
Thanks, Fiona. Tui, I might ask you to come up. We'll hand it over to questions, but I did want to ask you one question myself. Obviously, only 11 days out now, extremely proud moment for you to be having a game and Melbourne Storm coming to Fiji. What's it going to be like as well, taking some of the players back to your home island and home village for you?
Yeah, to be honest, it's such an exciting time for myself and also the people back in Fiji. Obviously, we all love bringing rugby back in the islands, and for us, I'm just counting the days now, so it's not long to go. Like, you can see the smile on my face, but yeah, all the families back home will be pretty excited. Seeing all the superstars in the rugby league, both Melbourne Storm and Newcastle Knights. So yeah, it's going to be big. I reckon it's going to be big. Once you guys get there, you'll see the turnout is going to be awesome.
And many family members from the village coming over for the match. How many tickets have you got?
Oh, at the moment I'm just asking all the boys. But yeah, so obviously I live in Taveuni, so you have to travel by boat. Spend the night on the boat and reach the mainland the next day. So they're leaving, today's Tuesday, so they're leaving this Friday to come to the mainland. So they're going to stay on the week and come to the game. So yeah, they always leave a week before the game. So because my island is far away from the mainland, so yeah, the more they can get there early and get it to come and watch the boys.
Did you ever think this day would come where Melbourne Storm's playing in Fiji?
Nah, not at all. Grew up in Fiji, it's like for a rugby league team to come and play in Fiji is just like a dream come true, to be honest. I grew up in Fiji, like seeing all the rugby superstars, watching them on the television, and for the game to go be in Fiji, like in the next week Thursday, it's like a dream come true for all the little kids back in the island. So I'm pretty excited that it's finally here. So yeah, just counting the days now.
And apart from playing rugby league, education and books obviously so important for young kids. How much value do you think something like the Fiji Book Drive is bringing to Fijian kids and schools?
Yeah, definitely it's pretty good. I remember I was growing up in Taviuni. My mum, she's a school teacher, so education is the thing that she always told us to focus on, and for the Fiji Book Drive to be coming to the islands and give the books away for help the kids and learning the education in order for them, because some of them might be not good in footy, but education can take them far away as well.
Do you have memories as a youngster in Fiji of rugby players coming out, or I guess, how did you initially get into the game?
Yeah, well, when I was growing up in Taviuni, to be honest, the lights normally turn off at 10 o'clock, so I better make sure I watch all the games and stop like around 6 o'clock. And I remember back in the days, there's a guy that every Fijian knows, his name is Waisale Serevi. He's the king of services, so he came to the island. That was way back in the 90s. So this is going to be the second one. So for me to go back to my islands and did that, like it's pretty, I don't know what to explain. It's pretty good, to be honest, because the last time one of the rugby superstars come in, visit all the kids was Waisale Serevi. He played rugby union, but this would be the first time a rugby league player playing in overseas to come to Taviuni and visit the kids and put a smile on their face.
There's quite a Fijian presence in the NRL as well. It must feel pretty special that your team is creating history, playing the first.
Yeah. It's such an historic moment, to be honest. And Fiji is always the number one sport is rugby union, and for a rugby league team, for us Melbourne Storm to be the first ever to do it, it's such a humbling experience. And just can say, as soon as we were in Fiji last year, we were just announcing the game, and it was on a Friday, and then the next day everyone's just going. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the announcement, and yeah, this clearly saw like the passionate all of us Fijian people of rugby, not just like rugby union, but rugby league as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Have your teammates been picking your brain of sort of what to expect over there?
Yeah, they've been asking me, especially Munster. It's like, my brother, what's going to be like? I said, oh, my brother, you have to be careful, because as soon as you land, everyone's going to be like storming you, because they love you back there in Fiji. So I was just telling them it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like one of a good time experience for the boys, especially the guys that are born in Australia. It's going to open their mind of how much we love rugby back in the islands.
Now, the pre-season, how's it feeling? I know you're coming into the pointy end now. How's the build-up there?
Yeah. Well, this is the best feeling, playing. As we all know, pre-season is always tough. So we finished our last session yesterday. So the boys that are playing this Thursday, first trial game against the Doggies. So I reckon this is the best part of being playing, is coming off a tough pre-season. The more you can know, you can prepare yourself well, is going to have a good season. So yeah, looking forward to be back playing again.
The first scratch match, that'll be a younger team taking that one before the full squad goes to Fiji?
Yeah, so this week will be just more of the younger boys playing the Bulldogs in Sydney. And then, then next week will be pretty much the full squad, get ready for round one.
And opening up the season against the Panthers.
Yeah, nothing better than that, to be honest. Playing the best team in the comp. Clearly so what we've been done during pre-season, how much work we've done at training and stuff, to be able to play against them in round one at home is, nothing better than that.
Justin?
Yeah.
Just how did this partnership with Book Drive begin, I guess?
Well, it's funny because we were actually thinking about opportunities when it came to what we were going to do when we went to Fiji, and we wanted to make sure we had an impact in the community. We wanted to make sure we were visiting schools and local clubs, not just coming over there to play the game. And Fiona actually reached out to us and introduced herself and the charity and the work that they do. And for us, it really aligned, and we thought it was a great opportunity to team up with an organisation that was providing such a positive impact to the islands. And obviously, for us too, Fiona's got great knowledge of what's happening on the ground in Fiji, and that was a great support for us in terms of planning and preparing to stage a game. A lot of work and time and preparation's gone into the match, and there's a lot of different challenges that come with that, but it's all going to be worth it once we run out onto the field at that game at Lautoka, but then also when we're able to deliver some of the community impacts that we're going to have when we go and visit the kids and the schools, and also Tui's Island, of course, as well.
Do you know how many you're expecting at the game?
The stadium holds roughly 14,000. There's a lot of trees around Lautoka ground
People
as well.
will be climbing up the trees and,
I expect
watching them
plenty of
outside.
kids will be on the trees as well. So we don't know the exact numbers, but we think it'll be around 12 to 13,000 at this stage. So the community's very excited. Everyone's talking about it over there, so we can't wait to get there.
And there's been some support from Fiji Airways as well?
Yeah, Fiji Airways are our new major partner on our shorts this year, and they've played a crucial role in helping us to deliver this game. We couldn't have done it without them. They're such a proud Fijian company, and they're going to be providing all of our flights. Our corporate network's all heading over there. We've got about 150 corporates heading to the match. Obviously, our football teams, NRL, broadcaster, the Newcastle Knights and the Storm will all be flying Fiji Airways. They're a great airline, and they've been an enormous partner for us to help us deliver this game, so it's really exciting to have them on board.
Is this something that you're looking to make a yearly thing, or what does it look like going forward? Yeah, we're open-minded. We'd like to think that in line with the NRL's Pacific strategy that soon there'll be a NRL premiership match in Fiji, and if there is going to be a game in Fiji, we'd love to be a part of it. We've obviously built a strong connection through Fiji Airways. We've got Tui Kamikamica, obviously, who's the Fiji Badi national captain. We're putting a lot of time and effort into not just the game, but also what we're doing in the community, and also pathways, establishing opportunities for young Fijian talent to come to Australia and train with the Melbourne Storm, and hopefully, the next Melbourne Storm player like Tui comes through. So we'd be really keen to see a premiership game in Fiji in years to come, and we're working with the NRL and the government around the Pacific strategy to hopefully deliver that, which would be extremely exciting. And you'll be heading over there with the new captain, Harry Grant. Talk us through that decision, how the club, or I guess the leadership process, how that was decided. Yeah, it was a process that started probably 3 months ago at the start of pre-season. Jason Riles has come back to the club. He's leading our leadership program. It was done in consultation with a number of different leadership consultants across that period. The players had obviously a huge part in the process and voted at the Geelong camp on their preferred captain, and then ultimately it came down to the coach and the decision from the coach on who he wanted to be captain moving forward. He was obviously a fantastic choice, Harry Grant. Leads by example. No one works harder than Harry. A natural-born leader on and off the field, with Jerome Hughes and Cameron Munster as his vice captains. He's going to be a fantastic leader for us moving forward, and Christian Welch has done an incredible job for us over a 2-year period as our captain, and I want to really make sure that we acknowledge the role that he played as a leader at our organisation. He's not part of the leadership group or our captain for this season, but for me that's just a title. He's still a really important leader around the club and around the team and in the locker room, and he'll be there to support Harry and Jerome and Cameron at any point that they need help throughout the year. And I know that he's a really proud Melbourne Storm person, and he's going to play a big part in helping our leaders this year. Was it a case of Welchie stepping aside, or a conversation that you guys were ready to go into this new era with a young leader? Yeah, it was probably that it was time to change the leadership from a captaincy point of view. Welchie was disappointed that he wasn't going to be considered for captaincy this year, and we understand and appreciate that, and I'd be disappointed if he wasn't. But the club and the coach felt that it was time to look at a new captain for 2024. And the players voted on the leadership group and the captain as well. So in the end, he won't be part of that this year, but as I said, he'll still play a really important role, both on and off the field, as a leader of our club and an experienced player within the organisation. And what does Pappenhausen's involvement in the pre-season games look like? You guys trying to hold him back or sort of...
I don't think anyone's going to be able to hold him back at the moment. He's looking really strong. He's mentally really strong. He's fit, and I think that we'll see him this Thursday night against the Bulldogs, which is really exciting news. We'll take a pretty young team up to Sydney, but pleasingly Ryan Pappenhausen will have a run, which is really exciting for the club and great for Ryan, obviously, with the couple of years that he's had. He deserves some good luck, and he's put in the time and put in the work and the rehab, and he's diligent in everything he does. He's a star player and a quality person, and we're really excited to have him back out on the field, and hopefully, he'll take some time to work back into it. But the best part is that he's fit and able to play, and we're really looking forward to seeing him out there on Thursday night.
Yes, there's always a conversation around Craig and his future and that rolling contract. Do you get a sense that he's loving it and he's got a couple more in him, or that it could be a closing chapter after this season?
I do. I think he's energised. He's bouncing into work. He's still at the gym well before these guys get to training each day. He's coaching, in the words of Frank Panisi, as well as he ever has. So, I'd like to think that he'd be giving strong consideration to coaching on. He's got another 2 years after this year in his current contract. We won't be rushing his decision, and we'd expect to know by middle of the year whether or not he's going to continue on as our senior coach. But from what I've seen and all the indications he's giving, I'd be really confident that he's giving strong consideration to continuing on. But we won't know until probably mid-year.